Hello Live Wires, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today I'm going to show you how to make some beautiful rose rings. What you're going to need for this project is a variety of wire. I have 18 gauge, 22 gauge, 20 gauge, and you could also use some colored wire as well. You'll need a ring cone. I have my cutters, some round pliers, and some flat pliers. For the first ring, I'm going to cut a long piece of wire about 24 inches, and I'm going to just take my flat pliers and bend it just about 8 to 10 inches from one end. So we're just going to give that a little right angle bend, and then we're going to get our ring cone, and you'll want to just wind this around. You'll want to make it a little bit bigger than your ring size because we'll be winding the wire through. You can wind it around 4 times around the ring cone. So we're just going to wind it around in the position that you want, and then make sure these wires are close together, and we're going to take this and wind it around that one. So that's our starting point. From there we're just going to kind of split them apart. Don't worry if these go a little off at first, we can fix them up after. Then we're just going to start forming our roses. Now I'm just going to do them very simply for the first one. I'm not going to make them very complicated. I'm just going to do spirals. So we're just going to come around. It's almost like a chaos wrap, and you can, do it any which way that you want. So we're just going to go around. So we go one way, and then we're going to go around the other way. If you need help starting the spiral, use your round pliers. Just hold those in there just to give it a little help. I like to do this just to make the bending easier. So if you just wind it around once, and then you can go ahead and loosely wrap it around. You want to make sure your wire is soft. This is the artistic wire. It's pretty soft and flexible. So we're just going to go around a couple times here. So just pull it as tightly as you want, depending on what you want the rose to look like. So now we'll bend it the other way. We just want to have a little bunch of roses. There's no real rhyme or reason to the positioning. You can just play around with that to see what looks good. So we'll give it a little start, and then now we'll wind it around again. So just hold that with your thumb if you need to. Bring it around. This is a very loose kind of wrap. So we're going to bring that one around, and then once you have that one in the position that you like, you can go ahead and wind it around the base of the ring. And now we want to bring it into the ring. Take your flat pliers and just pull that one around, and then around in here. And we want to make sure these stay flat, so make sure they stay beside each other. If you have trouble with them bunching together, get your round pliers, and again help the bend a little bit with the round pliers. So we're going to go in there and then bring that one up, and it's good to finish it on the front so it won't be scratchy underneath. So give it a little clip, and then you can get your flat pliers to push it in place, and you'll see these are lined up together. So now we want to do some more on the other side, and that looks really good. So now we're going to take this one, and we want to wind it around the band again. So we're just going to take that, put it through the band right around here, and so we don't crunch up those wires, let's just help it out with our round pliers again. So just give it a little help there, down and then up again, and back down here. So now we're going to cut it, and before we press those ends in, we can put it back on the ring cone to see how it looks. We can bunch these in a little bit, and if you want, we can just push that one down a little bit. So we might want to push this in a little bit just with our finger, just to have it a little hidden. This one too, we can just push it in a little bit, and then from there we can press it down a little more. So press it down and press it down. If that end is sticking out too much, you can also give it a little bit of a push so it's underneath that wire. That makes it a little bit more discreet and it won't be scratchy at all. Back on the ring cone, and there you have your fun little sort of bunch of roses on a ring. Another option for the band is just to take a piece of the 18 gauge wire and wind it around a form about 5 times. I'm going to put a link in the description to a ring cone that has steps, which are like sections, so you could get these equal. Ginger shared that with me on the live stream and it looks like a really great tool, so I think I'm going to get myself one of those. And then we're going to take our flat pliers and hold it in place. Don't worry too much if you scratch this because it will be covered with the flowers. So we're just going to bring that one in and bring it up and then down. So that's going to be one side. And then over here, imagine how much space you need to put the flowers, and then hold it again with the flat pliers. Take this and push it through the ring like that. Wiggle it if you have to. And there you have your basic starting point for the ring. So we'll give them a little clip here and a little clip here. Make sure there's just a little bit of space because we're going to wind our flower wire in between there. So there we have that one there. Bring it around and then just give this a little pinch in there. So you'll see there's still a little bit of space in there for our other wire to go into. You can push them a little closer together if you want. So that's our starting point for the flower ring, and we're going to do the flowers with a different contrasting color. So I have about a 15 to 18 inch piece of 20 gauge wire. I'm going to use the rose gold, and we'll start by just doing one of the roses. We're going to bring that one around here, start it like that, and then we're just going to wind it around a couple of times. If you want it more fancy, just take your round pliers and we're just going to do a little wave in the wire. Not too pronounced, we just want a little bit of a wave, and we want it to be able to go around the rose a couple of times, 1 or 2 times. So we're just going to go like that. That's about 1 inch, and then we're just going to bring this one around, and it just makes it a little bit more fancy. So we're going to go around here, and then we're going to form our next one. So we're going to just take this one, start it with the round pliers. You don't have to do them all fancy like that. You can do some crinkly and some not crinkly, whatever you like the look of. And say we just want this one to be smaller, so we're just going to go ahead and do some more crinkles in there. And it's like a crimper for your wire. We're just crimping the wire a little bit. So we're going to go in here and back and forth. I don't want them too pronounced. You could make these more pronounced if you want it to look more like a different type of flower, but for the rose I think it's pretty subtle. So we're going to bring that one around here, and so there we have a couple, and then we want to form another one. So we're just going to keep going with this until it's the size that we want. And say you want to do a couple that aren't crinkly like that, you can do that as well. And then we're going to do some more with this wire. We're just going to use both of the wires because we want to be able to finish with just a little bit of wire on either end to attach it to the ring. So we're going to bring it in a little bit. This is nice and soft. I wouldn't use any thicker than the 20 gauge wire. I think that's sort of like the thickest you could go for the roses. Otherwise they're going to be really hard to form. So now I'm going to do more crinkles around here, flip underneath a little bit, back and forth. This rose gold color is beautiful. This is the artistic wire from Beadalon. I love their colors and I love their wire. It's really nice. So back and forth, and then we're going to bring this one around this rose. So just around and around, There we go. And then we're just going to keep going with it until we have the number of roses we want. So if your ends of your wires are too close together, you can always pull one down sort of to the opposite side of where the other one is, and then just string it through to make it a little more solid. You can just kind of string it right through there to get it to hold in place, and then you can put it there, and then you have sort of one wire on either side. From there you can just get your ring form, bend that around. So just place it there, and we want to bring this between those two wires through here again, and then push it up and clip it. And then on the other side we're just going to push it over, hide that little bit a bit, and then we're going to take this one and put it through here, through the ring form, and then up between those wires again, through here again. If you're having trouble grasping it, just get some flat pliers, bring that one up, and then we're going to clip that one. And then from there we can just give that a push, give that one a little push, and then we're going to put it back on the ring cone, and we can go ahead and adjust these how you like. And any kind of configuration of the roses is nice. You can play around with the design and do your own thing with it as well. So there's the rose ring. So for the last one, I have about a 12-inch piece of 18 gauge wire, and I'm just going to wind it around 4 or 5 times, however many times you want to wind it around. So just get it in the position that you like. Make sure it's like the size that you want. You can just open it up a little bit if you need to make it a little bigger. And then from here, I'm going to make some little loops. So I'll just take my round pliers, and I'm going to make a loop this way. It's just sort of vertical there. Give it a little clip, and then pinch it in place. We'll do the same here, just make sure it lines up with that one. Wind it around the round pliers. Give it a little clip, and pinch it flat with the flat pliers. There we go. This one I'm going to use the 22 gauge wire to compare it to the one we did previously with the 20 gauge. And we're going to do the same thing where we just start it with the round pliers, wind it around, and then you can do the little wavy effect as well if you want to give the petals a little more texture. So just go ahead and use your round pliers to go back and forth, and then we're going to take this one around the outside again. So just bring it all the way around. If you haven't done enough waves, go ahead and take these and go back and forth a little more. And then keep going with it. Make some more little roses. You can do them all with the wavy, you can alternate, or you can do them all smooth. So this time I'm going to do them all with a little bit of a wave in them. So to attach the flowers to your ring base, I'm actually going to turn these up at an angle. So I'm just going to bend this so they're sticking out. This one too, we're just going to take this so it's sticking at sort of a right angle there. We want to take this and attach it. So we're just going to put one wire into that loop and one wire into that loop here. And easy, you just take this and wind it around this one here. So I'm going to get my new fancy curved pliers from Xuron. We're just going to stick that one in here, grab it, and then go around again. It's going to be more solid if you go around twice. And then we can give it a little clip. And this side too, we're just going to take the end put it through the ring and again, and then just to the front, and now we can clip it again. Then I'll get the flat nose pliers and just give it a little flick of the wrist twist to tighten it up. We'll do the same on this side, just give it a little flick of the wrist twist. Then we'll put it back on the ring cone to do any little adjustments. Just push it around as you need to, and there you have your super cool rose ring with the wide band.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.